Hey y'all, so I just want to put like a little disclaimer or whatever. At the time, like I mentioned in the video, like, oh, I wouldn't want my kids around that family member that I mentioned or whatever, around that person alone, because they might pick up a cup or something like that and exchange saliva. Just to let y'all know, at that time I did not know HIV could be not transmitted through saliva, so it cannot be contracted through saliva at all. You cannot transmit HIV through saliva, only through, sex, of course. So I just want to put that out there. At the time, I wasn't knowledgeable enough. I don't even think I was taking. No, I was. At the time, I just wasn't knowledgeable enough. Period. So yeah, I wasn't thinking. Yeah, I just thought HIV could be contracted. You can contract it through saliva or anything like bodily fluids or anything like that, and you can't, only through sexual contact, you guys. So that's a little tip for y'all to remember. You cannot contact HIV through saliva, sweat, anything like that, but sexually you can. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. At the time, I just did not know. I thought you can lick somebody, and if they get in the mouth or in, areas that can go through to their bloodstream, I was like, they got it, whatever, they got HIV, like they can get it too. But that is not true. So yeah, now I'm more knowledgeable. You girls getting smart every day, and I freaking love it. So yeah, I'ma just let y'all get to the video, and yeah, bye.
Winiss.
What is up, you guys? So I'm back with another video. This time I'll be doing a story time about the time I thought I had HIV. Like seriously, I was freaking out. But without further ado, I'm gonna just get right into the story time and let y'all know how I thought I had HIV. Okay, so don't mind me. I'm on my laptop right now, just trying to upload my vlog from when I was in Vegas. I'm still in Vegas right now. This is my last night. I'm at the hotel right now, and yeah, so it all started when I thought I had HIV. I think this was around, I really don't even remember. I can't remember. But I would say it was about 4 or 5 months ago, I think, that I went and got checked. And yeah, anyway, so about 4 or 5 months. So I went to Planned Parenthood. You guys, from the start right there, that should just tell you, don't go to Planned Parenthood if you're looking to get HIV tested or any type of STD testing. Well, I wouldn't say it like that. They do tell you if you got an STD or not, or they do help out or whatever. But I guess for me, my experience, especially with the HIV testing, I was like, oh my gosh, I was freaking out. But anyway, I went to Planned Parenthood one day, and I went there for one thing only, and something told me just ask to get HIV tested, because my boyfriend was telling me, have you got HIV tested? And I was like, no, I haven't had that done. What do they do? Take your pee or like a blood sample? And he was like, they do a finger prick for your blood and then send it to the lab or whatever. I was like, okay, cool, I guess I can get that done. So I went there for one thing. I'm not gonna tell y'all, but there for one thing only. And then I ended up telling them like, hey, can you do a HIV testing on me really quick? I think it's called no, that's the wrong thing. I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. It's just the HIV testing. So they did that. They ended up giving me whatever I needed the first thing I came in, and then they did my testing for HIV. And so the lady was like, I was like, well, how long does it take? She was like, well, it's gonna take about a couple of hours. You'll get a call from us, and we'll let you know if you're either positive for HIV or negative within this same day. So I was like, okay, cool, that's pretty fast, because I know with STD testings, they take like, I guess, a little longer or whatever. But I don't know, that's what I was told. So I was like, cool. So I freaking do the finger prick. They take my blood. Everything's good. I'm like, in my head, I'm telling myself, like, I know I don't have HIV. Like, what the heck? And I'm just like, okay, just do the testing anyway. So we ended up doing the testing. I walk out, and I would say about 45 minutes to an hour, I get a call. Unknown. No, it was not even unknown. Planned Parenthood is supposed to call you from unknown. It wasn't even unknown. The lady called me, and I think it was the nurse that helped me, that did my finger prick and everything, and said that she was gonna have someone else call, but she ended up calling. And she was like, yeah, I'm calling, I have your results back. And when she said that, in my head, I'm like, okay, yeah, tell me negative, because I already know it's negative. Like, I don't have HIV or anything like that. Like, I'm good, I'm straight. So excuse me. So she's like, yeah, I'm calling you for your results, and we just sent your blood off to the lab, and we just got the results back, and it shows that you're positive reactive for HIV, and we need you to come back in. At that moment, my heart stops. I'm like, positive reactive? I'm acting dumb at this point. Mind you, I'm a nursing student. Well, not a nursing student yet, but I'm a pre-nursing student. So I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean, positive reactive? Like, what are you trying to say? She was like, well, we found, what's it? Oh, Lord, I need to get my science right. I think she said antigens. I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Y'all let me know. I think it's antigens of HIV that she found on my blood. I think. Don't quote me. Anyway, she said she's found some HIV, whatever, in my bloodstream. And I'm like, okay. She was like, come back. We're going to do another testing and send it off to a better lab. So I'm like, okay. Sure. So I get there, and I'm like literally sitting down in the waiting room shaking. I'm sad. I already told my boyfriend, like, hey, you know, here's what's going on. He was listening on the phone while I was on the phone anyway. So I was like, this is what's going on. And he was like shocked, like, what the heck? Like, do I have HIV? And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't even do anything. Like, what's going on? So I'm like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I drive down there so fast, and I'm sitting in the waiting room, and she calls me back, and she takes another sample of my blood, and she asks me, you know, while she's taking my sample, and she's like, I haven't even cried yet, but I had so much going on in my head. I was like, you know, like, this is ridiculous. Like, how could I have HIV? So she takes my blood again, tells me she's gonna send it to the lab, and then she asks me, do you have anyone that you can talk to about this? And I'm like, oh my God, I just start crying. Like, she was like, do you have anyone you can trust that you can talk to about your situation or whatever? And instantly I just start crying, like, because I'm thinking about my parents. I already told my boyfriend, but I'm thinking about my parents. I'm like, dude, my mom, she's gonna be like so hurt to know that I have HIV. And I forget the second test, and I felt like the first test was right. So I was like, whatever. So, and then I'm like, my dad, I was like, oh my gosh, he's gonna be so upset, and then he might like attack my boyfriend and think that he done something, or like he's gonna be so hurt, because I don't know, I just felt I don't want to have a freaking virus in me. Like, you think about viruses, but once you hear something's that like results back coming back saying that you have that virus or you have that STD, like, that felt different for me. So I was just like, I was going through it. I was so sad. I think it took about a week to get the second lab results back. But that but it took about a week to get the second results back. And that whole week I was so freaking like emotional and sad, and my boyfriend, he was like telling me, oh, don't worry, even if it is true, I'm still gonna stick by your side. And I really appreciate him for that. But I was just like, dude, like, that's messed up. Like, I'm young, and not saying that old people gotta, it's okay for them to have diseases or something wrong with them, but I'm like, why me? Like, I was really going in deep prayers and stuff like that. Like, I was going through it. I didn't want to really eat too much. And, some days I would tell myself, like, oh, the results are going to come back negative. Like, I know it. But then to have that in your mind that the first test came back positive, reactive, that just scares me. So I was doing so much research on that week, just waiting for the second results to come back. I was doing so much research, and I found online that I think it was, did it say pregnancy? Yeah, it said pregnancy can cause a false test. And then it said the flu shot can cause a false test. And I was like, yo, I recently had the flu shot because I was doing my program that I'm going into for nursing. So I was like, okay, maybe, this flu shot triggered it. And then that got out of my head, and I was like, no, it didn't trigger it. I got HIV, period. Like, there's nothing I can do. And then I started thinking about my career. I was like, oh my gosh, my career is over. I'm not going to be a nurse. Like, it's over. I have freaking HIV, which is not true. Anybody that has, like, diseases like that or whatever, HIV, viruses, you can still pursue your dreams. You're not going to be held back because you have AIDS or HIV. Like, that's totally false. Like, but for me, I was thinking that deep. Like, I was like, how am I going to be an advocate for someone and my health is not even all that great? That's how I was thinking. And yeah, but I was just going through it for that whole week. And then the week ended, and they ended up calling me from an unknown number, and it was like, hey, we're just giving you a call back, letting you know that your results came back negative, but we do want you to see your primary care doctor and have them check and see why it triggered that false positive reactive test. And I was like, whew, okay, cool, we good. Like, no HIV over here. And I asked them, I was like, what about syphilis? Like, do I have that? Because they checked for that too. They was like, no, you don't have nothing. You're good. You're great. I didn't mention to them about, like, the flu shot. I just left it at that. I just knew, like, in my head, okay, it must have been the flu shot that triggered that or whatever. But y'all, that was freaking crazy. I was really going through it. Like, I really thought I was walking around here with HIV and my life was over. Not to say that people with HIV, their life is over with, but I'm telling you, if someone tells you, like a doctor or whatever, comes back with your results and you're getting tested for STDs or viruses, things like that, and they tell you, oh, you're positive, that's freaking scary. You're picturing your whole life in your head, like, how did this happen? And that's how I was thinking, like, how did I freaking contract this? Like, what is this gonna do for the rest of my life? Yeah, my boyfriend said that, he'll stick by my side or whatever, but we're young. People can up and leave, and then how am I gonna tell the next person, yeah, I like you and all, I got HIV. You still want to go through with everything? Like, I felt like that's a contract to put out to display yourself, if you know what I mean. Like, that's something that you have to say to someone before, especially relationship wise, before you lay down with someone, like, hey, I got HIV, just want to let you know I do take my meds, and I don't want to have to do that. Like, that's just stressful, and I just want to live a normal life, a happy normal life, to where I don't have to take medication every day to get low detected virus, STD, whatever. So I was just like going through it. But yeah, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I was so scared. My mom, I didn't even tell my dad yet, but my mom, I told her, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, how do you think you got it? And it's crazy because she had ended up telling me something a couple of months before I got tested for the HIV, and she was like, if you had a kid, would you let, like, I think she said a family member of mine, would you let a family member of yours watch them and be around them alone? And I ended up saying no, because I know they have a virus, that I wouldn't let them be around my kids. She was like, what if they're taking medication or whatever? I was like, still, things happen. I don't want my kids to drink out of their cup or whatever, or saliva exchanging, or anything, fluid exchanging, you know? So I was like, no, I don't want my kid to be around them. I would have to monitor them around my kid. And it's crazy that she asked me that, because months later I ended up getting tested for HIV, and then I got a panic attack that I did have HIV. So that was an eye-opener for me. And she mentioned that to me. She was like, well, remember that time that I asked you? And I'm like, yeah, that is crazy, because I wouldn't want someone to treat me like that, you know, like, oh, you have a virus, and I don't want you to be around my kids, or I don't want you drinking out of my cups, using my forks and stuff, because your saliva gonna be on that, and your saliva carry the virus or anything like that. So that was an eye-opener for me, because I wouldn't want to be treated like that. And it helped me, you know, people that do have it, I know people that do have it, and I would never treat them that way, because it sucks. It really does. It really does. And for me to think that I had it hurted me so much mentally, to where I didn't even want to do anything. So yeah, I was going through it. But anyway, your girl don't got HIV, and we healthy over here. So yeah, we good over here. Anyway, yeah, so that was just the story time of the time I thought I had HIV. And I wouldn't say don't go get tested with Planned Parenthood, but at least they sent my results back, or whatever, my testings or whatever, back to another lab for further testing. They double checked it for me, which was nice. And she was already telling me medication and stuff, mind y'all. She was already telling me, like, oh, medication to get on, like, this is what we will give you if your other ones don't, if it come back the same way positive. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to have to do this. I don't even like taking my vitamins every day. And I know I should, but a freaking pill just to get it low detected from my bloodstream, I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, that's horrible. Very horrible. But yeah, I'm so glad, I'm so thankful, so blessed that it was an eye-opener. I think that's what it was. And yeah, I'm really thankful. But anyway, that was just the time I thought I had HIV. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, share, do all that jazz. Hit the bell, whatever they say, hit the bell, and turn on post notifications. And yeah, I will see y'all back with a whole nother video. I really don't know what I'm gonna do next, because we're gonna be leaving from Vegas tomorrow, literally almost today. We're gonna be leaving, and we're gonna be driving back. So I don't know what type of videos I'll be doing. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.